Namaste, Astrology Adventures. Today I want to discuss one of my favorite topics, the question of fate versus free will in astrology. I'm your host, Paul Manley, and you're watching Light on Vedic Astrology. If you think about it, it's because we have free will that astrology becomes useful as a tool for our lives, a tool of self-awareness, a navigation tool. If we can't avert potholes and difficulties in our life, then what's the point? I mean, if we can't make better choices, then where's the utility of astrology? So I want to explore this, and I want to tell a story by way of telling a story. So K.N. Rao, my Jyotish guru, woke up in the middle of the night. He tells the story. We woke up in the middle of the night thinking about a friend of his. And so he got up, he looked at the chart, and he saw some potential danger coming up. So he called the guy and let him know, you need to start practicing, reciting the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. And so, of course, the man did, immediately. And about a month later, he was at work. He was doing a routine inspection in a warehouse, and a large support beam suddenly gave way, and 200 cement bags fell on top of him. Can you believe it? His coworkers, removed the bags and was surprised to see that he was fine. He was not only alive, they didn't think he'd even be alive, but he was not only alive, he only had a hairline fracture on his hip. So about a month of practicing this mantra, and that was the result. Saved his life. And that's what the Mahamrityunjaya mantra means. It's the victory over death, the mantra of the victory over death. So great for, as a mantra for all kinds of challenges, health challenges, etc. So, and I met this guy at K.N. Rao's house. So I know he confirmed that this is a 100% accurate story. So K.N. Rao goes on to say, it's the duty of all conscientious astrologers to not turn a client into a fatalist and let them develop some blind faith in astrology. It's bad for both the growth of astrology and for the astrologer himself, who may be sapping someone's initiative. So we need that initiative to take the positive steps in our lives, the next positive step. We need to engage our will. And so, this is echoed by other famous astrologers. Chakrapani Ullal, he was considered the father of Western Vedic astrology. In fact, he coined the term Vedic astrology when he came to the United States in 1979. So it all started from him in the United States and in the West. And he was known for living in LA and giving readings to many famous movie actors and actresses. So this is what he says about this. Astrology is a science of indications only. It is not fatalistic. By using willpower, by the grace of God, we can change everything. Let that sink in. Here's a guy who was dedicated to giving readings. He gave a lot of readings to so many people in the close to 50 years that he lived in the West. So, what does this mean? We're either taking an active or a passive stance with regards to our karma. Our chart is an outpicturing of our karma. So it assumes that we've had past lives, and that that moment of birth, we created, in a sense. It's our karma. The planet's positions at the moment of birth are due to what we have done in the past, which is what karma is all about. So David Frawley calls this karmic management. We're managing our karma by making better choices in our lives through the use of astrology. So it's not just to find out what terrible, sucky event's going to take place and kind of try to enjoy it and, as you just ride it out. That's not what's for. It's to be active and engaged. So if you're still not convinced, you got to read this book, Autobiography of a Yogi, Chapter 16, Outwitting the Stars. So I'll share another quote. This is Paramahansa Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi. So he says, occasionally I told astrologers to select my worst periods according to the planetary indications, and yet I would still accomplish whatever task I set for myself. It's true that my success at such times was accompanied by extraordinary difficulties, but my conviction has always been justified that faith in the divine intervention, divine protection, and the right use of man's given free will are forces formidable beyond any that the sky can muster. In other words, the planets, the science, astrology. The starry inscription at one's birth is not meant to be that the man is a puppet of his past. No, man can be free of every limitation. So when you listen to these great, yogis in India, Paramahansa Yogananda was a great yogi, no doubt. We hear from people who have been practicing astrology for so many years, like Rao, like Chakrapani, Ullal. We get a perspective from what their experience is. Most of the time, people see the planetary influences, especially the dashas and transits, as forces beyond their power to affect. That's not the case. And so anything promoting fate is really doing a disservice. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So we're going to stop here. I look forward to our next video tomorrow. Namaste.